It is time, folks. The 7th ever Blast Pro Series, but the very first Iberian qualifier. It's going to be really exciting to have a local team, especially with this energy behind it. You know, we've constantly had, like Chad said, that one-way street of cheering for the home crowd favorite. Now, there's a rivalry, and I like that.
It's so weird to have like an audience right now, and then to hear them be so extremely loud. It's not even as full as the audience will be tomorrow, and yet it feels like we're well into the tournament. It's just a play-in right now. We're trying to figure out who's the best Iberian team. It's an interesting battle because you could say Movistars are the better team overall,
right?
But up against Giants, I don't think they feel like it's going to be a 70-30 match. I think they feel like it's closer to 50-50.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, you look at the interviews we had from both Fox and also from, excuse me, from Mixwell yesterday. Both of these guys say this is up in the air. It's anybody's to take. So let's just lay it out there. We have ourselves the first map, folks. Vodafone Giants versus Movistar Riders, and it all begins here on Nuke.
And just like the video showed you, we're starting with a little bit of an outside play. Smoke goes out. Fox and co cross. Mixwell's here spotting, but he's got late information. They've already taken their talents down into secret. Muterus is making the lead here, clearing the first sets of staircases. The CTs haven't decided to rotate just yet.
We've got one down there on the B floor. Deaths, the newest addition to the side of Movistar, replacing Lowell. That's a big gap for him to fill. But Mopaz opens this up. I love that we have Movistars actively playing into lobby here. They may have lost that lower control, but they're going to get map control elsewhere. And now he strikes! From the corner comes Death! A 3K in the opening round here on map 1.
That is the absolute most important position Death needs to get to on the lower site if it is going to be a rotate downstairs. And for him to put together those 3 kills was pivotal. Now, this is a guy who's been on the team. He replaced Lowell. He's been on the roster for just over a month. I mean, like 33 days. Mixwell referred to him in the interview with HLTV as a player who used to be known as a cheater or has been called a cheater many, many times. And when he went to land, destroyed everybody. And Mixwell said he loved that he knew Death wasn't going to get scared in a situation like this. So it's great to see that he starts off a round like this already so hot.
Kind of person who takes an opportunity and runs with it, makes the absolute most. Mixwell, over here to the corner, has support just over behind him. T is trying to force that bomb downstairs, but it's going to get nowhere other than thrown back down into the dirt. Muteris, he's going to come off of Mini, so there is one casualty stacking back versus Movistar Riders, but the cleanup crew's already here, so the desperation sinks in. We have the 2 remaining Giants running off towards ramp, and while they do get their feet down towards the lower site launders, they don't do it with the bomb.
It is going to be huge. We're playing Nuke. Giants know they can abuse outside. They can abuse the fact that they've brought buses of Portuguese people here to scream as loud as they can. On T side, that's going to be a huge benefit. This is not a situation that Movistars are going to be used to. I mean, maybe Mixwell, but not everybody else. If they go outside over and over again, they cut noise, they get down secret, it's going to be hard for them to spot. And Deaths actually has to put together a bunch of damage. Oh my goodness, in through the metal, and it ends up getting him and another player killed. There's 2 up, 1 on the upper site. Bomb is being camped out, but Fox has already taken heaven. There's a chance here.
Very real chance. Fox is just going to lurk a little longer. Roman opts not to run over towards Mini. They're going to come in off of the same direction. This Fomus will have to trade. He swaps back to the D, and there's a Fomus beneath, but Fox has managed it into the 1v1. 15 seconds. CT just in front. It's going to be the duel, and Mopaz picks it up.
Oof, that was important. And damn, that round should not have come close. That's just had a funny angle to work with. Didn't realize how much damage from his bullets would be absorbed through those railings. Needed to back up just a tad. It wouldn't have been a close round if he had done that. Luckily, they do save a lot of the guns, or they at least didn't invest too much in good guns that last round. They'll rebuy into 3 MP9s, and they'll go up against another round where Giants have only got pistols. And in fact, will mainly just be working with Glocks potentially. We'll see what they decide to invest in, and if they'll decide to go for some kind of outside play, or if they'll do something simple, try to bust open Squeaky. There's a lot of good timings for the T's to abuse, and a lot of sound from the crowd. Again, that's going to play into the match that they should try to exploit as much as possible, because the same thing will happen for Movistars on their T side as well.
Additional time added to the pause as a man drops. So we'll get that one back in order soon enough. What a costly second round, though. And honestly, that final duel comes down to the fact that Fox has no cover and Mopaz has his box. You know, it's Jiggle Peek around the corner. He tries to commit to the spray. if only.
Yeah, I think it's good that he fought him, let him come close, but then decided to peek a little bit early so that Fox is out in the open when he has to fight. And of course, we've got some extended conversations here, trying to find out what the coaches are saying. I don't think we're into attack pause still.
Definitely tech.
Okay.
Fox. This is a nice return. Somebody who we haven't seen for the longest of times, and that's the big difference between him and Mixwell. 10 years of age, literal a decade between these guys.
Yeah.
It's cool to see them both at the helm of a project. You know, I can, as a Canadian who always has our best players poached, you know, I mean, okay.
What's an example?
If the product is liquid, then I can accept it.
Okay.
But there's a bit of a dream there, you know, the pride of a full roster. And these guys have that. So they'll duke it out to get themselves to the bigger stage. But we are back into this next third round. Buys up. You can see the very clear effect of the losses, despite Movistar picking up wins. 3 MP9s still within the mix. So that's going to be a good combination to maybe recuperate some of the money. And they're not fighting versus the biggest of buys either. Giants have decided to go for the gamble, coming in with a Galil, Ump, and Mac 10 of their own.
Sit here on lobby control, waiting for the squeaky pop. Obviously, Zelen just holding until this door swings open. Molotov to the top of hut. Flash goes out. Soger will be first contact. They're trying to do the vent dive. They are successful in it, and now it comes down to the rotates. Again, Movistars, they have to get into position quickly, but is anybody downstairs already? It doesn't look like it.
Doesn't seem so. Again, a bit of a hesitation. Last time they countered this by going aggressive into lobby, taking that other portion of the map, but it's not in their back pocket this time around. Super difficult retake on the cards.
I like the patience.
MP9's clash. We have a chase, though. We have a chase. Keep your eyes on Muteris. He's coming down the secret stairs behind the CTs, but he may not even be needed. They've still managed to pinch that one side of the retake attempt. We have Movistar working in from the other side onto the site itself. Depths has to cover door and does so with a headshot to kill Dream. Muteris' Galil's up next. The door swings and it's traded successfully. Again, around with a single survivor.
Oh my God, it comes down to the last second.
Wow.
Bomb turns green, defuse is in though. Retake is successful. I like the vent dive. I like how they approach that round. The second smoke there to chain with the wall and the bomb site silo on the lower site to get there was smart. They did it quickly enough. They knew that Movistar was going to be late on the rotate. They did have 2 people come into ramp, and I like the patience for Movistar to not get too freaked out when they realized they had the lower site had been compromised. But then it all comes down to the fact that they have better guns. They're a little bit more composed. They don't lose anybody early, and it's kind of a good round for both teams in that sense. Good plant here for Giants to grab, and now we'll move into a big round, an AK round, and Roman will get the first kill with the help of his teammate.
Yeah, that's Mixwell just getting caught in no man's land. Splatter to the side of the garage. And a strong 5v4 for Giants. If we talk about how strong of an opportunity this round is in and of itself, based on how close the other ones were. Well, imagine now with a man up and 5 AKs still pointed forward. An attempted entry towards ramp will not be found. Fox entirely clear for the taking. He's going to work his way down to the B site, and that's where the resistance will be found. But once more, you've got a player just standing fully exposed. No cover and no real chance at fighting back when it's outnumbered opponents. 3 up for Riders, make it 2. Mopaz and Soker, all that's left as bomb goes down.
And here's where you've got to call it. First of all, you let the outside kill come down. I honestly, even though Giants haven't won a round, they look good. They're moving at a very deliberate pace. And here Soker is going to get caught off guard, but still readjusts, gets Roman out of the round. Will have to go for another gun. Doesn't want to take another fight, though. And will fall back into spawn with his teammate. And it'll be a big question whether or not they can survive. The Giants don't necessarily have AKs to just give up, though. So if these kills don't come easily, it might not be that worth it to go and grab. It's another player down for the T's. And Kill Dream goes down as well. So it's a 2v2. And it's not making a lot of sense to fight this hard for guns when you've got to buy for yourself next round.
That is value stacked up by Mopaz. Nasty little forklift angle. You know, you're thinking they're tucked away in the back cubby, but nope, he holds his ground, and that scope on the AUG definitely made his job easier with that very narrow angle. But here's the first kill, Mixwell.
Yeah.
And then compare it to this second as well. Again, players just with no cover to work with.
Yeah, I think luckily on the second round, Death's got into position behind the bomb site, and he was ready even if his teammates couldn't help him. Even though there was no sound cues to call for rotates, he was just in a good spot. It might be in Movistar's best interest to play there from a very early point in the round, especially if they lose outside, because Mixwell has missed information once on that anti-eco where he let them cross the secret. On that round, tried to go for the early position into secret. Normally, you'd go down through the vents, up through the stairs. Instead, he tried to take a shortcut and just run outside, which is a bit more risky, obviously, as they jump on top of Silo, and you probably won't want to run that risk again. So if they do have any doubts about outside at all, you should probably just ensure that Death's in a good position early.
Soaker's going to try to deny that vent dive. Killdream not given his opening kill as Mixwell repositions behind blue and just kind of salts back towards spawn. We've got positioning down on the B side already with in the form of that CZ. Alex, the only player who's still on a sidearm for this round for Riders.
Yeah, that's all he's got. It's very low utility here for both sides. It looks like only 2 smokes a Giants can use.
Good spot to put the CZ if you're stuck on it.
That's true. It's very true.
I would say even more so because if they are able to clear Soaker from the close corner, what are the odds that you have a second player directly there in vent? Element of surprise could mitigate the disadvantage, but they're going to go towards ramp as they did last round. They caught Deaths in the open. He flashes them back, buys at least a couple seconds of time, and now he'll hold a closer of positions. Still found, but still able to get himself that first kill. However, he is so pinned into this position. Can he bring more bodies?
No way!
Wow! And he swaps over to the AK, so he could actually go one further. But no, Killdream has the high road. And he's able to drop back another kill, 3v2. The edge is here for Riders, especially with that flank. Perfect from Mixwell. Killdream, minimal cover, minimal chances, but still 20 seconds to play.
So early into the game, and there's just so much action already, especially with Deaths. I can't believe how well he's playing. Here's a round where there's basically no chance for Killdream. Won't even get the bomb plant, and they got downstairs pretty easily. The flashes were good to fend them off a little bit. Deaths got that info nice and early. Didn't drop too early, and they still maintained that outside control. So a couple of the important things that they were missing from the previous rounds they held on to. But a 3K with the MP9, last bullet on the player dropping here. Had to reload right after that, switches to the AK. Eventually gets killed, but does more than enough. That does more than enough. I mean, that's insane. So the thing that's great for Giants is they're getting downstairs very often. The biggest problem is that the best player, it feels like, for Movistar right now is the lower player, and he is going above and beyond, killing 2 or more each round that they come there.
Yep, the newest addition, Deaths, who Mixwell himself did say steps up when the pressure's on. And there's never been more pressure for either of these teams. AK sprayed out from Mixwell and Mini, and Alex tries to help out on the outside of the yard. Managed very well with that final headshot.
Already down 5-1. It is a fast-paced game. It doesn't look like, by the scoreline, that Giants have ever stood a chance, but they honestly have a lot of good things going for them. There's not much I would change. I would try to continue to abuse the lower site. I think if there's one thing, you know that you can get Deaths down lower so easily. So they throw one flash and ramp. He's going to counter flash and drop. They could go and jock for position upstairs and then put Deaths in a very tough rotator spot. So if they're able to take upstairs successfully in that situation and a player maybe drops out of heaven, then they can maybe get a bomb down and make it an unwinnable round for Deaths. That might be something they can think about.
This is a different look. Already a slower round than most. We don't get that immediate vent pop. We don't get the ramp pressure early, but no, they'll try to throw the ruse. A faux wall of smokes outside. And a grouping of T's here inside of Hut. It's going to be a pop, a burst, an attempt to get past Mopaz, who is blindsided. Good flash assist from Uteris, but Soaker, with 13 health, is still able to cull the numbers back into the even keel. Alex hoping to strike from this vent, but how does he get past the lip of it? How does he regain that aim before they gun him down? Bombs planted, utility heavy for the retake. And a molly clears that closer corner. Alex now knows with the audio cue that that player's been flushed back into the lobby, so probably more pressure from Hut, or it's just on the inside of the door where it's exactly that Alex takes him. Soaker perfectly timed on the flank, and Zelen will trade this back to the 2 versus 3. They have the CTs pinned in, and oh! Look at the kill feed, it's full! Full of Alex as he gets those final 2 kills and keeps Riders rolling.
Would you believe it? That was nuts. What a great retake. By how far back Mixwell was in secret, you thought they were going to give that up. Alex was also in the vent, found a way to come up through the vent, one of the worst retake spots possible, into a situation where Movistars were sure it's going to be an outside bully into the downstairs play again. They were wrong, and they still won. Love the composure once again. The retakes have been solid. Now, luckily for Giants, they get a plant, but that's just another notch on Movistar's belt. Now they have to think, do we have upstairs? Where did we go wrong there? And I would say that they were clustered up a bit too much upstairs in their retake positions, in their after plants positions, excuse me. We had 2 of the last 2 remaining players in the site. Yeah. I think if you're thinking about optimal after plant spots, your squeaky guy's got to stay alive, and your guy inside of Hut's got to stay alive. If you don't have heaven control, those are going to be your best spots. You're going to let them in mini, you're going to let them in vent, you're going to let them in heaven, and hopefully in the 1v1, you can always play for time. And in that situation, the remaining T was in the middle of the site and had to fight right away. Alex should not have been able to win that round.
I think the timing of the engagements works so well there for Riders. You think about it, Alex's first kill on Squeaky is what draws your single Hut player. It takes his attention away from the flank, and he then has to deal with Squeaky Door. When he dies to a perfectly timed flank because he's clearing Squeaky, that's when everything starts to unravel. That's when your 2 players in the bomb site are really at a disadvantage. If Alex isn't able to pick up that first one, then I don't think timing works out as well. Giants could have maintained lobby control. The players on the site wouldn't have their heads turned in multiple directions. And who knows what comes of it. Remember, this is the 3rd 1v1 situation in these first 7 rounds. But what was a faux wall of smokes in the last, a false, a phony, is no longer the case. They're going to silently walk past it and hope to use the element of surprise downstairs on B.
Yeah, now, where are the rotates already? That's just holding on ramp, and yeah, Alex will be down here immediately. Throws them all, the incendiary, which tells you he's pretty confident that they're about to cross. Mixwell may have given him some pretty good information. That's a great flash. It elicits not only gunfire, but a bunch of footsteps.
4 fully blinded Ts in that moment. Molly's going to disrupt Alex's position. Tries to flash back. Remember, he has Mixwell here towards decontamination. Welcomes them in. And Uteris's head almost taken clean off. But Alex, oh, got excited. That was his teammate, Launders.
Thought he's going for the kill.
Yeah, for a moment.
And it's actually a rotate upstairs. This is insane. They actually worked so hard to get them to drop, and now we'll pull it up. Soaker will have to make the spray commit.
But Mopaz
with the MP9 can only put together 1. It's a 2v2, and still an intense round. Will they rush the retake?
Killer rotation. It's at least opened up this window. Alex off of the vents once more. Will Mixwell get first engagement? That Molotov burns a player away. Fox taken out of his after-plant position. Mixwell now knows that Roman's over towards Squeaky, but the drop's going to be heard. Fox knows, but still he's taken down. And while the bomb is planted on the other side, Mixwell needs to get him out into the open for the headshot, but it's not quite there. Not on the first chance. Time ticking quick. He has the hit. He has the time. He has another round.
Come on, man. Is it because they're in Spain? Is it because they're on land?
How many 1v1s?
I can't believe this. So smug right now. He's feeling good. Oh, man. I feel like this just buys him an extra 6 months on the team, like no matter what happens.
100%.
A few moments like this, just to make you feel good. Yeah, the fans are cheering. That's pretty amazing. Once again, just last bullet. I mean, even with that 3K that Death got in the lower site, it wasn't the last player that he got with the last bullet, but it was a pivotal kill he did get with the last bullet of his MP9. And they're in the 1v1. Gives Movistars the 7-1 lead now. And Giants worked extremely hard. I love the mid-round in there from Giants. They worked hard on lower, and then when things didn't work out, they decided to rocket back upstairs, and that made sense. And now Movistar starting off the round hot. An opening kill for them early on. Mixwell goes ahead and picks it up with the M4. And that was the play from Giants. Now Mixwell is probably going to take the liberty of looking around. Des is having pressure put on him, but him and Alex have been a good tag team duo here.
Yeah, and we haven't seen such heavy presence on ramp. This is the first time that they've really had a chance to encapsulate the T's, but it comes with a cause. But what are you doing? They just rain down into Alex, who fires right back, drops bomb. and maintains the man advantage. CT's flank proactive. Fox completely out of the equation until now.
As unforgivable as it was that those CTs lost 2 at ramp when they had 3 in total, the fact that they had 3 was just like, what? How are Giants supposed to predict that? Movistar riders in the rounds win the round convincingly and are now on fire. And I think especially when they killed Bets, they're like, all right, well, that's the key play.
The player who's hiding behind a box.
We get to go downstairs, get to plant the bomb. There's nobody here to stop us, and there he is, Alex.
And unfortunately for Zelen, he was already falling when the first player died, so it's not like he just tried to rush the kill either. They made the same mistake at the exact same moment, and you had Alex capitalize upon it. Now 3 players for Riders already on 10 kills. Mopaz, Alex, and Soaker.
Yeah. It's obviously important that they keep spirits high. It's kind of funny how close these rounds are and how good Giants are playing despite how Movistars are edging them out very consistently. There's a number of things that can work, including a fake to lower to upstairs, a full-on upstairs play with just smokes outside, getting the bomb downstairs and holding it. And I feel like the only thing that's remained consistently bad for Giants is the post plants at the very least. They're getting the bomb down a lot. They're just not winning the round when the bomb is down, and they should be favored in almost all of those situations.
They'll have 1 smoke and 1 flashbang to work with here on the offense. They're immediately smoked out by the defenders first, so they'll have to wait with the little that they have. Pop flash meant to come through the ceiling of the A site. How many players will be blinded on the entry? That's the big question. Only 1, and it's already gone, so not an effective flash. Mopaz, however, is cleared from the back of the site. Now, we have players coming up from B. Bomb dropped in the open again, so they're not even going to get that extra injection of cash. It all comes down to Kill Dream. He's going to scurry away for the bomb. Could actually head downstairs.
He could. Yeah, he doesn't know if they...
Now he's cut off, though.
Played someone lower. There's a chance first goes out. Doesn't know there's 1 in mini, and will open the door to another enemy. He's freaking out a little bit. Doesn't know.
I'm losing my mind.
If Soaker is actually falling back into Squeaky. 50 seconds up. Chance for a kill. That one comes down, but the spray through the door is good enough. And Soaker, the man that Mixwell was first to mention in terms of who was starting to pick up their form, clearly shows us that he's here to play as well. That was a nice play here at Squeaky. Important because it feels like on these ecos, like there's Fox with a 2K upstairs with just the CZ, proving that he's a scary player to go up against. It's important that there's at least 1 person who's getting multi-kills almost every single time, because it feels like more CTs die than they should. And the sites they're holding on these anti-ecos. I'm
kind of blown away by Soaker's patience there not to peek the player when he opens up Squeaky door. Like, he really bought his time, but wasting no time. We already have a terrorist down through vents. That's Zelen in the B site, but he misses his chance at a very clean duel. So now he has to fight versus Alex. He's going to have to struggle for the kill. Dodges the frag and gets fragged. CT's with the first edge.
An important one at that. And Soaker makes his rotate back up to vent as well, so they're strengthened on both sides. They have a lot of information. And they're moving in for another kill. Kill Dream ends up going down. Fox will trade, but Mopaz will as well. Bomb is spotted, and now they can just fall back, recede into the sites, play carefully, and wait for Giants to make the next move.
I was a little worried coming into this series that maybe it would boil down to just a Mixwell versus Fox, but hold on, because this right now is Roman and Muteris versus 4. And they've managed it back to the 2v2. They've gotten the bomb control down to the B site, and once again, they're in the after plant. You talked about how often they get here. Can they hold on?
Need to prove it. This is a great smoke. We can use this to pretend to fall back, even if he doesn't.
Roman ready, but loses the duel. Muteris is going to take the place of his fallen teammate. Works around the side of the smoke. Deaths now will not have an angle, but Mopaz, oh my god. Oh, ready and waiting. He walks up, tries to keep that element of surprise, instead he dies, and Riders find themselves on 10.
He had the ultimate off angle there. He had the door one half of the door open and then was peeking through the other side of it. How could you ever expect them to be standing there waiting? But that's Movistar's being very patient once again in the post plant and it paying off. The trades were in. They need to tighten up the ship a little bit more. I mean, there is a certain point where they're going to be thinking about the rest of the tournament as well. And the fact that they're losing so many players when they're kind of at an advantage up until the final few moments of the round is worrying. Ultimately, they do have a 10-1 scoreline right now. This is the map pick of Giants, so there is that. But they definitely have to tighten up ship if they want to be competitive at the rest of Blast.
We've got a noob tube and Hut. Oh, and 3 players on the receiving end, but it's traded out after 1. Deaths uses that chance to push himself forward from ramp, ready to strike from behind. There have been really good engagement timings for the CTs. You know, if Soaker makes his play right now and gets denied or only finds 1 kill, then Deaths is ready to try and swing out and recuperate the advantage. But who makes the first move? Because I feel like Giants, they can smell this aggression. It's near.
Deaths looks like he's getting a bit impatient. We don't know if he's going to turn that corner or not, but doesn't have much of a reason to until at least some other noise is made on the map. So we'll see if the CTs are working on anything else. Soaker in front of a flash this is a great spot. He's not going to get scared at the moment. Deaths decides to activate himself, and Soaker will push into the hut. Picks up the first kill, making it a 2-on-2 once again.
It's one of the things that Mixwell first praised with Deaths. It's his aggression. It's what he brings to the table that maybe Lowell didn't have. The rotation back through Hut is what catches Roman's next kill, but it's still a fake. Bomb's heading down to the B site, and Alex has taken this hook, line, and sinker.
Interesting.
1v1.
Yeah, this is a free kill. They could have had a site opened up. They just didn't realize where Alex may have rotated to. I'm sure they pressed tab and thought, okay, he could have been the ramp player once again.
He thinks it's A.
And yeah, I guess it depends how long he wants to work on this, but he can't hear the bomb. He doesn't know just yet, and he'll finally get a clue and make his way down vent. But the time has ticked past. We're almost halfway gone.
He doesn't have a smoke to cover his defuse, but he does have a massive advantage in that Fox has 2 HP.
Oh.
He's playing on the opposite side of the ramp.
Even the nade.
Even the nade. Even a single tick from the Molotov. I mean, you could just chuck one of those utilities on each door even. The first one goes out, the peak is there, and the defuse is too.
Oh my God.
I think it's close.
It's so close.
Oh, finally we have Giants with a clutch round win.
There was so little time. 0.4 there on the bomb. He could have gotten away with that if he had moved a bit sooner, if he had been able to tell the bomb was downstairs in the first place, and it seemed like the one player upstairs was enough of a throw off that he had no idea that it was going to be a lower play. So the 1v1 comes through and you think, all right, here's another round where Movistars will just clutch it out, but they don't do it. They give up a round to Giants. Giants don't have all the money in the world. They've still got a Galil. They've got Muteris, who has a Mac 10. And at least, though, because of how close these rounds have been, Movistars don't have much of a buy to speak of either. CZ, Deagle, let Zelen down, and AK recovered.
Hyper aggression, and now that's going to put the pedal to the metal for the Giants as well. They're charging onwards. Soaker doing a great job with the damage. You're right. Check out Muteris and Fox. Standing on shaky legs. B-site has crumbled and belongs to the Giants. Death's wary of a potential player to fly up from vent, but all 4 of the remaining Ts are down here on site. They've got a strong presence in decontamination, a player on the bomb site behind the silo. And then you have Fox just tucked away. Roman's gonna get the kill to Mixwell. Alex trades it back. Still, Fox's position is unknown. He has that AK down here by the box. Oh, but Mopaz with an immediate MP9 headshot. The player doesn't have the kit. The defuse is cleared, and there's no time. It's way too low. And so, even though they pick up the kills, they will not pick up the round.
And they take just a bit too much time. I'm not sure. Oh, no, both CTs survive in that situation, so at least they get that. That's 5 down for the Ts. They grab around, which is pretty important, but they're in the exact same spot they were last. Fox will not be able to afford an off, which is a position that, you know, he's going to want to put himself in as much as possible. Pretty decent opening here for Movistars. Just close this half out strongly. Oh, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to buy behind the 2 guns that they saved. A CZ comes out, so they'll take what they can get. You know, that's a round where you consider forcing, potentially. They're not going to have a ton of money here in round 14. Muterus leading the charge again, outside and moving quickly. No CTs to spot, no long-range weapons to make it feel comfortable. Three Ts finally caught crossing. Vent drop is also spotted, and now Giants will have to decide what they want to do, but Mixwell goes out of the round as well.
As 2 of the 3 pistol players cleared. Neither of the rifles have been engaged just yet. Death hears the footsteps, but how does he make a play? He's so limited with this pistol, and unfortunately for him, if he peeks out towards door, Roman's already in his spawn. He's boxed in, very much so, and they seem very wary of his position on top of it.
Definitely the benefit of having so much time left over is these weird angles, you're still going to have time to clear them. It's a bit of a crossfire, though, so he could get distracted from ramp. Des is going to show his back and get himself killed. Roman gets one. We'll look for a second, but Alex is there with an AK, one of the 2 good guns they've got, and they're both still alive.
Fox sits above. Last known position from Alex. Now revealed. Here's the footsteps of Fox fall down. That opens up the round for him. Oh my God, that opens up the round for him.
He knows.
He's already tagged up Mopaz so low. He knows heaven should be open because Fox fell down. So it's the bomb planter plus the low HP outdoors. Alex, this would be incredible. A 1v5 ace is on the cards, but it's taken down by Killdream. Staying true to his name.
A valiant effort, really nicely tried. Really nice try there. The kills came his way. They weren't easy kills to grab, but Giants pick up another one. It's deserved. I think this half is starting to look a little bit closer to what it felt like when watching it.
If you're Giants and lose the first 4 1v1s of the round, and then in the last 4 rounds of this entire half, when you're at such a disadvantage, you're picking up last-second bomb explosions, that's definitely a fresh breath of air. Can they close strong off of it? Just getting in, you know, fighting versus a half buy in the 14th round of a half can be such a great way to just finish strong as you move into that second pistol, which will be so important. We're talking CT side of Nuke.
I like that they go top silo quickly again, work on outside control quickly. Smokes come out a little delayed. CTs are starved for information somewhat. Mixwell doing his best to make up for that spamming whenever possible, but Muterus gets down slightly unscathed. He's got 20-30 damage on him, and he will lead to charge one more time. Free real estate for him to grab. Why shouldn't he go for it? No trade utility, but at what cost for the CTs? That's an incendiary down. Ramp control's been forfeited, and Mixwell can't fight that either.
They have a player close in deaths, and he's going to go ahead and pull the trigger. Almost lines up 2 more bodies. Then it's Alex's turn at bat, but it is the Giants to come out with the man advantage. Mopaz and Soaker still worried of that secret stairs, but Muterus has changed direction.
They're so far away from the planter here. Killdream's trying to elicit a reaction, and he'll grab one as well as a kill. That's nice. Big, but it seems like the trade is possible. He's not maybe going to expect 2 to be in control this early on. And Roman will come out with a peek. He'll spot the fall missing player, Soaker, and take him out with some very precise shooting. The half ends 5-10 here for Giants. Not a bad spot to be in, and honestly, those 1v1s, as you mentioned, the 4 1v1s earlier on the half went their way. Just could have been lopsided in their direction completely. Could
have shifted the entire momentum. This is one of those halves that, you know, if you're tuning in now at the halfway point, you don't even know half the story.
When the players were getting introduced, it felt like quite a Spanish crowd, especially when Mixwell was there. It seemed like everybody was very enthusiastic, but from those shots, it's looking quite Portuguese.
Woo. Plays out the final kills, and we are right back into the action. Take a breath. It's time for the second pistol.
Well, that's a proof here for Movistars. They've got a couple of smokes on the T side. Squeaky Plop might be on the menu. We'll pause with the lineup. Dangerous spot to be in. He'll wait for that one to bloom. Door will swing open.
Double mini smoke. Fully isolates the player in there, but you've got 2 CTs actually within the site, and are you going to get past them? Fox gets 1, Roman 2, not the 3rd. The reload's going to kill him. Or not? Are you kidding? He's managed to get himself just that 1 more kill, buys time for the Heaven players to peek out, and pushes Alex into the clutch.
Fox ends up killing himself. Don't even know how that happened. It's Alex, 1v2. It's a pretty good it's just a pretty good setup there. High-low situation from the rafters. Easy double peek as the mini player comes out, and The 2v1 is locked up, even though Fox ended up ending his own life. I'm not even sure how that happened.
Must have fallen from the heavens.
And this
Roman
is ridiculous.
down here.
They've got to trade Roman, right? I mean, he was able to reload his USP and then fight a new player after being super low.
Like 4 HP.
Yeah.
That's a death sentence.
Right.
But he got his last meal at least.
What was on that? What was on that meal?
I'd take blueberry pancakes.
I noticed I've seen on Death Row, there's a lot of people who got eggs. Eggs was a very popular menu item for your last meal.
Lauders, we got a flood of T's coming out from Hut. They will rebound with 2 Glock frags, but the FAMAS of Fox fires off, and he will clean up the round. This time, taking the safe route down, manages to survive this time.
A much cleaner Antico than we saw from Movistars, that's for sure. Augs will be in play early. AKs are up for the Giants.
Who, for the record, are on fire. With the momentum of the end from the first half, and now these first 2 rounds too, their emblem in flames.
Firepower split down the middle. It's a pretty even round. Killdream's got a weaker gun, but on the CT side, there's more room for SMGs, shotguns, things like that, especially on Nuke. 3 rounds the difference, but it's a very competitive game. Can't tell you who's going to win at this point, especially now that Giants might be more comfortable here on the CT side. Again, their map choice, even on this map, Movistars had a much higher win percentage, as well as it just being a map they play more often. So it's an interesting veto that we saw go through. Mopaz gets flashed out into ramp control. And it's kind of wide open here. They're going to be able to drop lower. Fox is not in a position to help them. Where are the CTs to defend against this? We've got one backside here on lower. Killdream gets flushed out of his position, and he's only got the MP9 as well.
And he still manages to get 1 kill. Slows down the bomb carrier at the very least. We've got the Riders tucked away inside control room. Excellent position here from Alex, and he peeks out for the second. Down goes Roman. How about a third? Not on Fox's watch. He's got 2 kills of his own as he upgrades to the AK and leaves the remaining 2 players stranded on B. He wants to regroup. Zellen's going to walk forward.
Yeah, this could be a situation of players just backing up into the crosshairs of others, but right now they're both kind of tucked away in the site. Soaker feels like he's in a precarious spot, but once he clears out the ramp, he's got the ultimate after plant spot, if not the pen ultimate. Zellen will have to push out, look for a kill, but it's unclear who's going to get that.
Open door kind of screws him. Here comes Mopaz. There's the first and the next. Fox down for the round, an 11th for Riders, their first T round on the board.
I like how simple they kept it with the flashes out to ramp. It was basically 2 that they used to take it. They kept a lot of their utility overall. I don't think they even used a smoke. And with that much map control, not much of a response from the T's. They've got this open avenue, yeah, and a heads-up play from Alex. Just really sick. If you're Roman, how could you expect, right? Your teammates already kind of cleared that for you. How are you going to expect to have your gun out in that situation and look for a kill? He'll be a bit more wary moving forward. But again, Movistar is back in the power position. Looks like smokes, crisscross smokes outside. 3 in total, and the T's with the full intention of crossing with them. Fox gets the opening frag, and it's with an op. Again, we haven't seen him use in a long time.
I was going to say, with that closer of the 3 smokes, definitely missed the mark. I thought maybe it was to clear behind Mini, but damn, did they just expose themselves to Fox and paid the cost. And he is very much the pinnacle of this round for Giants. His op is accompanied by the double MP9 and only upgraded pistols. So for him to have already found impact in the round, that's key. It's not a solution, but it's a hell of a start.
What are they expecting here? They're really holding back outside of T-spawn, which means anybody to assist in the lower take will be so far away. They could try to abuse Squeaky, Muterus, in the vent. Doesn't know that there's T's very close to him, but seems to be suspicious.
Yeah. He knows that he fell for timing there. It was flashbangs that came through the roof of the A site that drew him through the vents, and he was no longer controlling the stairs. At that time, Riders walked past him. They didn't get the kill, which would have been even better for them, but they know exactly where he's at. And then he realized what bait he had just chewed on.
This is scary for Giants because they're upstairs. They're still seeing pressure from within Squeaky. Muterus is going to come downstairs for information. Can't get his kill with the MP9. Killdream does find a frag. It's 4v3. Deaths will make a case to even that up. And the bomb can go down with a lot of utility left over. So if the CT stop this, we might have a different game, but if not...
Oh, Mixwell, he finds that timing on the player towards stairs. 6 seconds. The CTs are pinned into the same spot. You've got to plant, you've got to cover. Alex is going to get pushed. And while he does trade the frag, he can't get Roman, who's just so damn close. One member of each team survives.
He thought he had to worry about control. That was such a crazy round to have to think about. Muterus coming out of the vent, they didn't think that he was there. The T's were spread a bit thin. That was the only thing. So once again, the players in Squeaky, it's good that they were there because they kept up the potential threat that could be an upstairs hit.
Yeah.
But there was so little time left in the round. Eventually, they have to meet up with their teammates. It's a lower, weaker head if there's only 2 people there. Those problems start to come into play. And then they wait so long that planting isn't easy either, and that's the reason they lose. They were basically sitting outside waiting for a kill to come their way, and it didn't seem like Giants were going to give them one. So I don't know if Riders are just more expectant that they're going to be aggressive in those situations, but it feels like they're playing with a bit more composure today.
We've got Roman close to the smoke. Downstairs, that is. Not much to lose in this situation for Riders. Remember last time, that exact same flash elicited the spray down from all the guns. You know, you got the audio confirmation that there were players there, but nobody pulls the trigger on this.
Not sure if Roman was able to calm that. We saw his head pop up. But the CT seemed wary, and that is good that Riders on this last round took so long to make a choice. Giants and I are always worried that they're going to just fake it and go back to the other site. At the end of the day, it's just Glocks. Roman will now start calming. He's in the best spot possible, but it'll also be known.
Just needed to spray him down. He gets the support from ramp to shut down the window push. Very effective in his hold here, Roman. Calls for the full rotation just in time. Deaths still up with the P250 and 25 seconds to play. Whoa. Gets a chance at another peek, but the frag spells his end. 9 rounds to the 11 of Riders.
So close. This game is so incredibly close. And again, buses full of Portuguese fans that have been brought to the venue, all here, ready to make noise.
Launders.
And they are going crazy, yes.
Not only did they come in buses, in droves. They had flares and smoke grenades.
That's true, yeah. They had real Counter-Strike utility.
That's taking it up a notch.
IRL, yes. Yeah.
We remember very well Blast Lisbon. And yet they've come to represent again here in Madrid. But fast past the smoke, they will get themselves downstairs very quickly. Riders leaving Deaths in the vent, already going to plant this bomb.
Okay, that was the most successful vent I've ever seen. 4 players, nobody got caught in the smoke, no damage dealt. Mopaz does take some late. Mixwell's going to let one cross into the site, but there's no one here to kill.
Ooh, does he stick this? He's inside of the smoke. He's going to jump on it. Down to the 2 seconds. They can do nothing. 3 players up. And we have Muterus robbing away the round.
What is the definition of a ninja defuse? Do they know that he's actually on the bomb in that situation? They might have heard that he ran past, but there was so much gunfire. I mean, not even sure that they realized he stuck it. There were smokes all around him. I feel like some of the criteria is there. It's there.
It's there. It was shrouded in secrecy and smoke.
Not every day that you see a CT in the 5v5 run through ramp into the site, go straight for the defuse, so it's fair that they assume that maybe he was faking, but they'll try the vent dive one more time.
Yeah.
And they get away clean.
This part of the strategy was perfect last round, so add it to the tally once more and just keep eyes on bomb. CT is going to have to go for ramp control. It's the faster of the rotations. Death's angle cut off. There is still a gap to play through the window. Killdream could try to abuse this if he does dive inwards, but we have Mopaz with that Mac 10 just driving through the bomb site. Killdream trying to play around with the potential angles. Finds himself the headshot. Then Muterus comes in with one. But Alex outdoors is cutting off the rotators. It's all on Deaths now. 1v4, and there's 2 players in the site. He kills them first, and he knows that the damage has been added to the remainder of Giants. This was Alex who bought them time. Deaths is going to walk out. Bomb's being stuck. He's got to charge it. He's got to run, and he doesn't. Giants with another robbery down on the B side.
Oh my God, quick to the defuse and had steady hands. Went for it, committed to the defuse, and brought themselves around. Another close one. I can't believe how many post-plant situations have come this close on both sides.
It's like 8 or 9 now, at least. And that could just be 1v1s.
Definitely the map-defining statistic. Another successful vent dive. It's not every day that everybody gets down without taking damage. Happens so rarely, and here's 2 rounds in a row where it does, and they still end up losing. Would have paid that post-plant completely differently, though. Alex outside could have delayed longer. Soko did not need to peek from behind the bomb site to fight ramp. Let him in. Don't give them that high ground advantage. Playing far back, not having to take 2 fights. Let them walk into crossfires. That's the whole point of being in the post-plant situation, is so you can play like a CT. And they weren't doing that. So if they're not going to press those advantages, they should lose. That's some fundamental stuff that's going wrong.
Oh, that's dangerous, and it costs him. Trade attempt is not going to succeed. Soker, the second casualty. Mixwell will trade 1, and Deaths capitalizes to at least keep this 2 versus 3. But Fox wants next blood, and he finds it inside of Hut. Alex can grab bomb and drop down if he wants to. Oh, he is so pinned into this position.
Yeah, and they might know. They can't see the bomb anymore, so you'd expect them to clear this. It'll be hard to get to. He gets the boom! The second one's a headshot, and that's his cue. He'll take the bomb into lower, molly the vents, 40 seconds up, and it looks like he'll get a plant, certainly.
Oh, now how do you play this, Mohan? What do you do?
Easily fall back to Heisenberg. You can use this door as much as you want. You have a nade to work with. There's almost no reason to throw it. Muteris has got to figure out if he's making that extended play. Interesting to see. He's actually falling back. I don't know what the value would be. Maybe just grab an extra flash. I'm not entirely sure.
No,
but once Alex hears this, again, it just comes down to the door, and there's not a smoke here for Muteris to use.
Alex has to hold the door. Muteris is going to get closer. Could swing it wide first. There's the push. Red like up. But Alex, 1 versus 3. The fact that he got that second kill on the A site, it had to come down to the headshot, you know, because he didn't get the clean kill on the player jumping boxes, so the transition had to be perfect, and it was 1 bullet, 1 kill, and an open route towards B.
Man, and it looked like a rounds where Movistars, first of all, they have the perfect adjustment. It's been 2 squeaky pops in a row. They decide to play someone close. That's Roman. He gets the frags with the AUG, and then Alex comes through with a super intelligent 1v3, clearly. Seemed clairvoyant in that situation, knew how to take those fights. It was a tough one to grab that second kill, and HSP is not a perfect stat by any means, but there's a moment where it actually matters. Rifle efficiency is the reason they won that round, and the 1v1, maybe in his eyes, was simple, because he didn't even think that the defuse was going to get stuck, and after those last 2 rounds, you'd expect maybe Giants go for a play like that, but yeah, he's just too calm.
Getting them pumped. The busloads of Giant fans.
Some Giant buses full of fans. All CZs here for the CTs. 2 smokes to work with. Crazy how important that round is, even though Giants won 2 of the last rifle rounds. Movistars have way more money, as we can see from the firepower meter. And this could be it. A free one here. Into 13, 1 more rifle, and that could be all she wrote for Giants map pick.
Looks like Riders are just going to bleed him out here. Try to play the patience game. Utilize the advantage of this AK in the distance. I'm sure Alex is feeling hot after the last round, sitting on 27 kills, him alone. But nobody overfaces outside. Muteris, in fact, giving up some of the space towards secret stairs. Doubling back. Uncertainty has been a thing in some of these moments for Giants' CT side.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are taking too much time at moments. It has cost them rounds where the time has actually ticked down. They've got to decide if they're going to play slow. Are they actually using that time to do something? And sometimes it feels like not. Especially versus CZs in this situation, you don't want to end up in a spot where you're fumbling with the rifle. This is a good way to clear stuff out. Both vents as they come into mini. And
get out of here.
Off of.
Bomb plant follows suit. You've got 2 CTs isolated in the vents, stranded. And the others nowhere to be found. So very good job here by Riders in just avoiding the CZs that were up in this round. However, that one kill is going to activate the remainders of the CT. A little bit of a body block plays to the favor of Mopaz and dunk. Nope, it bounces the wrong way. Anticlimactic as he gets backstabbed by Soaker.
Another close anti-eco. They don't come free, especially versus Giants. So Movistar's fans excited now. It was a 10-1 start, I believe.
Yes.
So now we're still within 2. It's a scary spot to be in with if you're Giants, but you know that Movistars are a little bit shaky, so there's a chance here to come back into it. Muterus is struggling. Muterus was one of the best players on his teams before in the past couple of years. You know, I believe coming out of Kick, he's one of the strongest players on the team. I expected a lot out of him. There's still time for him, obviously, to come through, whether it's this or the next map, but I'm sure that is a talking point for the desk, individually speaking. Now,
additionally, when you consider the fact that, you know, this is not the one-man show that maybe the series could have been. It's not the Mixwell-Fox duel, but in fact, everybody's stepping up. That was one of the biggest pieces for Ryder's early success was that everyone was contributing important multi-kills and important clutches. So we need that on Giants. It's got to be the full spectrum.
It's a round where they don't spend money. It's basically a double save off of that last loss, which means Movistars will likely move into 14. Economy will become less important, and it'll come down to Giants' last rifle round. We'll see if they can get anything done here. It'd be highly unlikely, obviously, with just the USPs, and Death's got a great spot to hold inside of the lobby as the pop comes his way.
It's going to get a little awkward. We've got Giants showing leg, teasing the T's, who then clean them up very quickly. Everybody was kind of feeling out the rest of the map, but were very successful in coming back to minimize their losses. What's next? Riders taking momentum here, undoubtedly.
Again, all these kills not so important for Alive. They've got a lot of money to work with. It might actually matter if Giants are able to win this one, but we'll see if they can even do that. They've got the 2 Fomuses now. They've got a decent amount of utility to work with. They're here on the CT side. There's a lot of options for Movistars to work with, but definitely options for Giants to look back on fondly, where they were able to win in these retake situations that didn't seem likely. So what will the play be from the T's? There's not any exploits to come out of outside. The smokes to cross here as Alex will lead the charge. And the CTs are low on information. Fox spams kind of like we saw from Mixwell in his spot. Muterus is just making sure that nobody can dive mini on his teammate Roman. And the CTs seem to be frozen in time. Once again, relying on Killdream to hold on to the lower site. He is at least moving into the most important spot. But once again, he's been spotted here.
Tons of pressure to fall on his shoulders. Fox is near to support, but his attention is also drawn towards ramp because he's the solo ramp player. Now the breaking of the glass, a christening of the hit to the B site. He gets past the smoke, finds them both with grenades in their hands, and now it is just a flood of frags coming out of Giants. Mopaz trying to clear the player off ramp, dies at the hands of Roman and Alex 1v5. For what seemed like uncertainty in the positioning of the CTs, that was a convincing hold.
No doubt, a really crazy couple of frags from Fox, picking the most opportune moment to peek. But again, a round where Movistars, I want to say it, don't realize when they have a good thing going. They got into lower site, they've cleared out a certain number of angles, they know there can only be a certain number of rotations, and yet still, they don't move into B when they could have. The best plant rounds they got were when they went for the vent dive. They smoked instantly. They got the bomb down right away. When they move slow throughout these defaults, take out side control, get down stairs, they seem to get scared by the amount of map control they have, when in fact there's not that many questions left. It's, okay, now that we're all in position, why don't we take it now? You know that Giants are not going to give up a kill so easily. And there is still 45 there, so not to be too harsh on them. But there was a moment where, there about 20 seconds long, where there was one player, Killdream, on the B site alone.
Yeah.
And they could have moved in. And Fox decided to say, like, all right, well, they've taken some time before. let me go linger on down to the B site, and if I see somebody, we can get a round going.
I'd argue another element of that too is the fact that Fox is able to just run through the smoke grenade and not worry about ramp. There was no pressure being applied to keep him up there, as he was the solo ramp player. So if he was trying to maintain map control, then he's not in a position to make a play.
Yeah, that's
My
true.
God, did he ever.
That's true. They could have applied pressure to ramp as well, made it more of a multi-layer round, especially if they're going to take time, but they didn't do that either. So it's going to be another full-on gun rounds. Muter's playing more aggressive outside. They've seen a lot of outside presence. I'm liking the adjustments here from Giants.
Oh.
Ooh, but Muter's getting spotted is very tough for him. There's not going to be a lot of support here from the CTs, and he'll actually turn this into a more aggressive play. He could still get cleared, though, is a scary part.
Yeah, there's a chance they assume he fell back through mini. There's also a chance that nobody shows themselves to him, because we've already got Alex down secret stairs, and the rest of Riders have all gone back towards spawn.
Yeah, he doesn't know how many have crossed is the only issue. So he can go ahead and flank, but the rotations are hindered. Once again, Movistar's taking too long, would only bite themselves. I don't know, actually. Maybe if they hang out in the lobby, yeah, Muterus can go for this flank. Nobody's making moves.
What's the discipline? What's the trigger discipline? None. Trades bomb right away. Confirms that there was 2 players there because he lost a teammate. Now Zellen's able to trade out Roman thanks to the assist. Mopaz removed. Alex activates towards mini. Wants to come in, joining his teammates, but they continue to fall one after another. And it's just Mixwell now. 1v4 as he drops down through vents and sprints towards B.
I'll have to perform an Alex here, and is just hoping that it's going to have an easy plant. He'll move into, again, maybe the most obvious after.
Oh, but they come. Oh my God.
Spray and gets 2 at least. If Zelen went down, it would have been a very difficult 1v1 for Killdream to win, but he didn't expect a 3rd player to come out of that vent, and it's good that they traveled in a pack.
Dude, there's a universe not far from this one.
Yeah.
Where Mixwell doesn't change guns, and that spray down is continuous. So close.
A good hold upstairs. A good play from Muterus. Didn't get scared, moved forward, traded for information, pushed to flank the lobby. Once he got in the lobby, got the kill he needed to grab, even though Movistar's got a kill upstairs. A lot of good things there. It's tough for Movistars to count for the fact that Muterus played aggressive outside, but I think the adjustment of him being aggressive in the first place was good, considering how much outside presence Movistars have had in these past couple of rounds. Final moments here, 13-14. Giants on their map pick, down by 1 round.
The beauty of this matchup as well is that, and you check the record books, Riders and Giants have 16-14 maps in the past. These guys love to give us a good, close game of Counter-Strike, and that's what this one's been. Not just in scoreline, but my God, some of these rounds. Wall of smokes, as they will trudge past them silently. Last time they put 1 player down ramp and 4 held back towards lobby. This time 3 in and 2 hold. They don't want these CTs getting curious elsewhere on the map and finding that map control, figuring out exactly what Riders are up to, because Riders have done a good job of kind of keeping their cards close to their chest and not giving away their play, but it's not the lower hit by the looks of it, Launders. They could redirect towards A. We haven't seen this from them. The Giants pulled this off successfully once. Riders will try their hand. Alex spams, makes some sound.
Yeah, what do those tell Giants? They're corralled right now. A lot of CTs very close to each other. Fox will maybe take first contact. It's actually Roman, though, but the trade will come out fast, and Alex goes ahead for 2.
What?
This could be final days here for Giants. They can jock for heaven control. The bomb is lingering its way outside. Des will fail a kill. Bomb still stays up. It's in a weird spot. There's 10 seconds left. They've got to plant.
Not yet, not yet. Bomb not yet picked up. And we've got Mopaz giving away his back, giving away the round. Giants, when Alex just obliterates those 2 players in the back of CT spawn, there's that element of chaos, and everybody for Giants activates in that same time. Killdream, he's the one who brings it back with the 2K. He's the one that cuts off Bomb, and you saw Mopaz panic there.
It feels like there's a level of babysitting going on right now with Movistars that do not need to happen. That does not need to happen at the moment. Once they're in that position, they go ahead with a pretty complicated outside take. They fake downstairs, they walk back outside, and yet they can't at that moment like think, all right, this is the final play of the round. We got to pick the site, we got to plant the bomb, we need to get into these choke points. If they just went up for heaven after getting those 2 kills outside, They know that they can combine with Mini, trade anybody that was up there, make sure to put the bomb down, but instead, the bomb is not even 10 seconds away from the bomb plant zone. Right. There's no way they can win the round. What are they thinking?
Caught
That's,
up in the chaos.
not even a problem of IGLing. If you have the bomb, you should know that. If your team is in that position in the round, the calling has been fine up until that point, you would assume. I mean, individualistically speaking, you've just got to make better decisions. That should have been a round in the bag.
Round 29, folks. This one goes the distance and maybe then some. They've got that vent play back in action. Mopaw's the only member of Riders to get down here, but he does it really quickly. Everybody else plays outside.
Yeah, he goes down fast. I think because he was blind, he's not sure how much attention he's drawn. Killdream goes for the quick rotate downstairs. Hasn't been much of a problem. Movistar's not abusing outside into round completion so far. They will move there on this round, maybe just to join their teammate, at least because of this player with the MAC-10. You can tell them that they're not going to be in vent. That's a few angles that they can save on. It's also made his way into Heisenberg, which is nice. Rotation's not going to come out for the CTs just yet. And remember when we moved into the 45-second round on that mark on the previous round, Fox was the man of the hour coming through with the AUG to help Killdream.
Yep. They had those crossfires set. I mean, even despite Mopaw's getting down vents in the first few seconds of this round, it's just then the slow secret walkout. Hasn't added all too much except for early confirmation. Killdream's feet get flamed out. He's lost his position. We talk about the advantage of high ground, but now he's within this bomb site, and that's an easy kill. However, Fox is here. He's the one that stepped up last time round, and he's done it yet again. Mixwell's in with the PP Bison, but Fox has his third kill here on the B site. Bomb thrown down into the open, and Fox could be the man of the hour in the 29th round because the T's are scrambling. They're scrambling to close this gap. How do you get this plant off? Counter-terrorists ready to peek at any given moment. They don't realize, though, that all three CTs come in from ramp, so they are stranded behind Silo. Oh. Shoulder to shoulder, side by side. First one dies, and now the second. Deaths is down, and a 15th round for Giants.
They beat them to match point. I didn't think I'd see that happen. I mean, how could you after 10-1? Crazy here from Giants. I am at a loss for words. It was a much faster inside take. They get into the site, but Fox comes out with a three-piece with the AUG. The second time that it has been absolutely imperative, and he's showed up. He's been great. Round 30, 15-14 for the Giants. They've stopped the upstairs and the lower plays. We've seen Movistars look a bit discombobulated. Great in spots in some of those early rounds in the first half, but how long ago those were. Muterus will move back outside, but this time directly into the secrets, which is interesting. A new spot for him to be in. I think a great play.
A great changeup, a great nail in the coffin, something that they may never expect to happen. And most certainly in this final moment, when you know the tension's high, spam through smoke, and sure enough, Guterres activates, gets himself just one kill. Mixwell on damage control. That's crucial.
That was a perfect flash that they threw across, just to make sure that they run into him, and it was just so well timed. Good communication from him and Fox. And with that many players spotted, it's a scary moment here for Movistars. Minute 5 on the clock. They're holding on to secret. They need to make a good decision, though. They need some leadership at the moment.
Redirection. They're going to head through garage, potentially to wrap around hell. Fox wary of this potential. Oh, he lines him up. Fox again with a multi-kill in the closing rounds of this first map. Could have very well just brought it back. It was their choice, the Giants. They had to perform, but it's not over yet. We've got 30 seconds to the clock. Riders with a bit of a contest here inside of A, but how do you get Deaths out of this position? He is so screwed if they just hold the exits of the garage. And all the while, Zelen can activate. He can swing that door wide and crush them, but another kill comes back for Riders. Deaths has a chance to join him, and it's Fox, again the difference maker. Mopaz has to retrieve bomb. Fox at a distance takes him down, and Giants pick up the round at 16-14 in an incredible comeback on Nuke. Launders, the 1v1s, the last 3 rounds on that first half, and then the CT side that looked unshakable. Fox is nimble, Fox is quick, and it's the Giants taking map 1.
That's nuts. That is so nuts. That was a spectacle. That's crazy to watch. I'm glad they took their map choice. You know why?
Why?
It's got Vertigo in the third.
Ooh, if we get there, Launders. Last time these guys played, it was a 2-0 for the Giants. Both maps went 16-14. So the history tells us that it can be close, and this one may be too. Folks, we're gonna have the second map, Overpass, up next. Don't go too far.